the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Okay, we heard him preparing his speech, so here he is giving his speech to his father. Okay. It says, but the father said to his servants, bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. So here, the father didn't even acknowledge basically the speech, the prepared speech that the son had for him. He was basically asking his father, at least let me be a servant. Okay, allow me to be a servant in your house. And his father is like, nah, like we're not even going there. We're not even doing that. We're like, I'm not even acknowledging that. He said, his father said to the servant, didn't even talk back to him, talk to the servant, bring forth the best robe, not just a robe, but the best robe. Okay, and put it on him. So I was doing some reading because I want to know, like, what is this? What does this robe mean? What is this? What does the ring mean? What did the shoes mean? And basically the robe is basically saying that the son, he's restored, okay, back to his position as son. It's a covering, it's like a protection for him. And it's also a witness, an outward witness, an outward expression before all the people that were there. Even the father running up to him, and hugging him and kissing him. This is before other people. Like they said, and the father said to the servants. So the servants were there. They were witnesses. This man was welcomed back, into his family, back into the fold. That's God's love. So his father's love. He's welcomed back to his father's love. And so that with that, welcoming back, there's mercy, there's acceptance there, there's approval there from his father. Okay. Let me see here. And the ring, you think about it, kings wore rings in ancient times, and they would seal, things like letters or decrees with their ring. Like just pressing it on something with a signet ring. So that's his seal of approval. So this is what the father is doing for this son. He's giving him his sign of approval, but also think about a ring is also a sign of affection. All right. Like even with the wedding ring today, how we would see a wedding ring today, in ancient times, that could be passed from a father to a son. That could be passed from a king to a servant, saying, like this servant now has my approval, but he also has my affection. Okay, that ring, no beginning, no end. So my affection for him, there's no beginning to that affection. There's no end to that affection. Okay, but it's like I said, a sign of his authority. That he's giving him authority, giving him position. Basically a sign of wealth as well, and dignity. He's giving dignity back to his son. Okay, and then and shoes on his feet. So in ancient times, only servants walked around with no shoes on. If you were royalty, you wore shoes. You wore shoes. It was a sign of your wealth. So and here, once again, I said the father is making a witness, a testimony to all that observe, like, this is my son. He's restored back to his position with all the benefits of being a son. He got his robe, that's his protection. He got his ring, that's his authority. And then his shoes affirm that, like, he is royalty. He is royalty. Okay. And then bring hither the fatted calf and kill it. Well, if you remember when we were talking about Hannah, they went up to worship, and they had the meal, the fellowship meal. This is where, Penina always harassed Hannah at that meal. Well, there was a sacrifice. This is a sacrifice right here, where the fatted calf and kill it. That is a sacrifice. Okay. Before God. And then they had the meal and let us eat and be merry. So that was the peace offering, or the celebration offering right here before God. So the father is making this offering here now before God, presenting it to God, on behalf of his son returning, back to him, back into the fold. And then here's the father talking. For this my son. He's just basically making a proclamation. I see him like, dancing all around, this talking to whoever make eye contact with him. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be married. Okay, so they're having their celebration over this son returning home. It said, and now his elder son was in the field. And as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said unto him, thy brother is come, and thy father hath killed the fatted calf, because he hath received him safe and sound. Okay, so the servant is just telling the brother about, the celebration, what's going on right here with the family. And he was angry and would not go in. Therefore, his father came out and entreated him. So once again, here's his father, like I said, like acting in so many ways like God, being, that loving father. But think about, like the other brother, like how he could feel, some kind of way himself, because, here I am, been through all of this, and now my own brother, doesn't want me to come back. Having some kind of feelings, about me coming back to my father, it says he was angry and wouldn't go in. But here the father is reaching out even to him, in this basically state of selfishness, reaching out to him. And he answering said to his father, lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgress I any time thy commandments. So this is a brother, talking now to the father, saying, all these years I've been here with you, basically saying he hasn't been here. He out there doing whatever he was doing, but I've never done anything against you. And everything you told me to do, I did it. Okay. So here, verse 30, and yet thou never gavest me a kid that I might make merry with my friends. So basically he's saying, you never even given me a little goat, not a little goat, nothing, that I might have a celebration, have some fun, with my friends. Okay. But as soon as thy son come, which have devoured thy living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fatted calf. So, this is the brother still speaking. As soon as your son comes back, he's basically, devoured all of his inheritance with whores, with harlots. Okay, it says, right? And earlier, like I said, riotous living. Okay, thou hast killed the fatted calf. You done killed a big calf for him, but you won't even give me a little goat. Nothing. Okay. And he said unto him, son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Okay. So this is the father now speaking to the son. All that I have, you're always with me. And basically, like I look at that too, as saying, not only are you always with me, but I'm always with you. Once again, just seeing God in that, like I'm always with you. You're not only always with me. So don't take my presence once again for granted. As I feel like the younger brother did when he asked for his inheritance and moved away. You had it really good at home. You had everything, servants, everything, food, clothes, shoes. You weren't a servant, but you left this royal life, this life of wealth, life of prestige, to go and basically be a servant, to be lower than a servant. You working with pigs. Okay. And then, here the brother in his anger and the father addressing, the brother, like, I'm with you. You're with me, and all that I have is yours already. It's yours. It's yours. If you remember, the brother already got his inheritance. He took it and left. Okay. Yes, he's welcome back, but all that I have is thine. It's yours. And then verse 32, it was meet that we should make merry and be glad, for this thy brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found. So this is the father, once again, just talking to the brother, once again, reiterating that point that he told to all the other people that was around earlier. It is very important that we should have this celebration and be glad, because my son, for your brother was dead and is alive again. Okay, he was gone. He was out of here, out of this place, and out of, like I said, the ark of safety, out of the presence of the Lord. But now he's back. He was lost, but now he is found. It said he came to himself. Basically, he remembered who he was. I'm a son. I'm an heir.